Today is a good day. Why? Well, settle down for a second. I'm going to tell you. Today is a good day because one, we're looking at a new clay from a new brand, and two, well, because I got a friggin' lightsaber. That's why. Friggin' lightsaber. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put this down, or I'm going to be way too distracted because today we are looking at a new clay from a new brand, as in it's their first time being covered here on the channel. They're a homebrewed outfit that seems to be very health-oriented, very focused on creating products that don't have all that crap in them. Their name is Oxford Hill. I actually heard about it from you guys in the comments section. And today we're going to look at their first product. We're going to look at it's a texture clay. It's only got a few ingredients in it. And yes, I'm going to throw it right out here in the beginning of the video. We got some serious Jack Henry vibes going on here. And yes, of course, I will touch on that, give you my thoughts on that. But we do got to give this clay our full attention. And I'm going to regret this, but I am going to try to still do it in 5 minutes. I'm going to try to beat that clock. So let's get set, buckle up. Here we go. Coming across my desk today is the debut product from Oxford Hill, their handmade texture styling clay. And according to the brand, this is a clay that is chemical-free, non-greasy, and 100% natural. They describe it as a bentonite-based hairstyling clay that is made with clean, earth-derived ingredients. They also say it's designed as a powerful combination of natural oils and minerals working in tandem to provide texture, volume, and high hold, all while nourishing your hair. Price-wise, we are looking at $24 US for 2 ounces of product. Looking inside the jar here now, we have our first look at this very smooth clay, and smooth really is the best way to describe it because it's seriously smooth. I mean, that's no real other way to say it. It's got this very thick but also soft consistency out of the jar, but it goes down in the hand like butter with very little pressure. I also noted here there's practically no tack or stickiness from the product in my hand, just a tiny bit of grittiness from those clays. Moving into the scent now, this is kind of a generic, I'm not really sure what to call it. You know, it's just called fragrance on their site, but it's like practically the same scent as every other natural handmade product we've seen here lately. It's got that, you know, slightly sweet but fresh scent. I mean, if any of you smell it, you're going to instantly know what I'm talking about. It's pretty much on all of these types of products these days. I think it's very similar actually to the one from Jack Henry, Sheer Revival, you know, a bunch of other ones like that. It's very light, not offensive at all to the nose, very easy on the nose, even for somebody like me with a sensitivity. And moving over to the demo now, though, I am going to be doing what the brewer and owner of the brand recommended for this one, which is my usual deal, styling on dry hair. You can pre-style with this. I'll touch on that in a second, but in using this on dry hair, what I notice immediately is that it coats the hair very nicely. That smooth consistency just spreads across the hair like butter. Then the clays take over immediately, and it's got that touch of grittiness there, not even a lot, just a tiny bit, enough to be noticeable alongside that nice matte finish. It's not oily or greasy at all in the hair, which is nice to see. The other thing too that I can see here after using it is that it's controlling the hair. There's not a ton of sticky hold going on there. There's not a whole lot of like hold manipulation going on there, but there's some nice control going on. In other words, it's directing traffic quite nicely, I think. Once again, it's not shiny too. It's not greasy. I really hope you're paying attention to that part. Here though is the final style that I was able to get with this clay. I'm actually pretty happy with the results. It's quite smooth, but still controlled. Moving into the end of day results here, this is a full 8 hours into the day, and I think there is some lifting for sure, but mostly what we're left with is seeing more of that texture. That clay is still very much present and definitely in full force, but it's also not drying out my hair, which makes it reworkable, which is a nice thing to see because usually with the clays and things like that, it dries out your hair and makes it a little bit harder to style. This still has some of that texture present, but it remains nice and soft and pliable so that you can still rework it. I think that was a pretty nice design feature. Moving up to the washout now, though, this one here, I did find it needed one shampoo to fully get out of my hair. After a water rinse, those clays did still want to stick around for a little bit, but it wasn't too difficult in my opinion. I think it was pretty easy. One shampoo had it fully removed. Not much else to say there. Now, though, let's talk final thoughts. And I have a lot to say on this, so I'm going to try to make make it quick, try being the key word there. Long story short, I love this clay. I think it styles really well. I think it feels great both in the hand and in the hair, and I thought the style it produced was extremely solid. I also like that you can pre-style with it, which I said I would discuss. Yes, this pre-styles really well because it's not greasy at all in the hair. It responds to the heat really well, and it seems to work. Here's a look actually at the style I got when pre-styling with this. I do want to note it's about the same for me as using it as a post-styler by itself, but for those that really like pre-styling, it does work in that capacity. That all being said, even though I love this clay, I actually really love this clay, I still have a few things that I would change if it were mine. And the first thing would be I would definitely increase the hold. I mean, honestly, I would not call this a high hold if you had a gun to my head. I mean, this is a medium all day long, and in some hair types, it'll actually be the lower end of medium. But for you guys with super fine hair, it should land on the opposite end of the spectrum or the higher end of medium. But it's definitely not a high hold, heavy hold, anything near that. That being said, though, you guys with fine hair, try this clay. You guys with wavy hair, try this clay. I'm telling you, there's just something really nice about how smooth yet controlled the styling is with it. And that in itself is essentially the difference when compared to Jack Henry. The biggest difference I see between this and the Jack Henry clay is the Jack Henry clay is more oily. This one is more matte, it has more texture. The finish on the Jack Henry clay is the complete opposite of this one, both in the styling and in the final result. And I wanna say real quick, I'm not putting down either brand. I think both brands have their lanes to work in, and they both handle their lanes very well. I think actually the Jack Henry one probably has a little bit more presentable hold, but the Oxford Hill clay takes the advantage when it comes to better finish and better control because, like I said, it brings in that texture, it brings in the control, it brings in the clays, but it doesn't bring in the oily finish. That all being said too, I think both could come down to price. Jack Henry is $28 for 1.6 ounces, and this is a little bit better at $24 for 2 ounces. I think both products could probably come down a little bit. They could afford to come down a couple of... Mia, you're running into my video. Come here. What are you doing? Come here. I feel like I've been here before. Come here. Want to come sit? Want to come say hi to everybody? Come here. Say hi. You want to wait? You want to wave? Wave to the camera. Say hi.
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 Oh, okay. Hi.
Hi.
What's your name?
Down the stairs.
Oh, you ran down the stairs?
4.
Okay. Well, why don't you go bye-bye? Say bye.
Bye.
Bye. See ya. Okay. Wow. Well, those little interruptions sure make videos fun, don't they? But again, regarding price, I think they both could come down a little bit, but that's just my 2 cents. Pun totally intended there. Dad joke for the win. I think I totally blew past the 5-minute clock though, so I'm gonna have to wrap this one up here. I'm pretty sure I'm way over time, but if you guys have more questions on this clay, let me know down below. Info to find them is in the description right by that subscribe button that you should definitely hit for me. I really appreciate that in advance. And with that, I will take both my saber and my leave. Take it easy. I'll see you guys next time.